Hello, welcome back to City Skylines with me, Neat, and welcome to another video. And today is another challenge. Now, I've got this idea off of Biffa Plays City Skylines. He's a really good YouTuber. I love his videos. I've been watching his stuff for a long time now. And he did the one tile challenge. Now, he took it to the extreme and very literally did a one child challenge. I want to make it a bit easier on myself potentially, because I am still very much new to the game and how the game works, that I'm just going to fill the starter tile and see how big a city can we get, how much expansion can we get, regardless of all the complexities. So I'm going to start with the Coral Riches map because it has water and it's got all the resources and it's fairly flat, so that's where we're going to start. And today is a wonderful day because I am going on holiday today. Me and my partner have been planning for a long time and we're going to China for 2 weeks. Now with that said, today isn't the day the video will get released. I'm recording it early so that yeah, there's still some content, probably not as much as I would normally do, so if you think why does she seem a bit off, it's probably because I'm knackered trying to just do a couple of videos before I go, so I don't miss a whole 2 weeks of what's going on in the world. So without further ado, this is our starter tile. So as I said, we've got water on the side, there is a train but we can't connect to it, and we've just got this road and electricity connections, and then we've got wind going out to the back, so we know that we need industry down on this side. What I want to do is just continue one fat road in, but the rest of it we're just going to keep really tight knit and small, and we've got to think about how big do we want all of our you know, things in terms of the building size. So we will come off from about here, I think, to I'm just trying to think about how we give time for traffic and things to back up. So if we come out of there 90, and we'll make that a roundabout, and then we will line up some space for industry. Just trying to think where's best to line up. There to there. That's going to utilise quite a bit of space then, isn't it? There to there. And actually that can be where our waterway is, so if we put in our waterway. So the aim of this challenge is purely, she says, putting the road too close, they won't even let the water exist there now. The aim of this challenge is to just get as big a city as we possibly can do with one tile, just one tile. Oh, you're still going to be a muppet, aren't you? Right, let's go again. And you're probably thinking, how are you playing this game and you're going on holiday today? I'm going in the evening, we're flying overnight, so that is why I have the luxury of being able to play a game before we go. And to be honest, it's a stress reliever. I am a worrywart, always a worrywart. I'm a bit of a control freak. So when it comes to holidays and things, particularly, I've never been that far afield. I have been to America, but generally I've visited Europe, so anywhere bigger is a bit nerve-wracking, to say the least, and it's a very different country to us. They don't have Google, they don't have the normal things that we have, so I'm a bit nervous about it. We will pop in a fuel thing and just squish him in, cheating the system a little bit, eating into the water there, but it's all good. And again, we're going to slightly cheat the system and pop it underground. There we go. So now we've got electricity, water, all our utilities, and then we just want to think about how we zone this to get the most out of the land. Now let's go 90. And we're going to keep everything pretty basic and straight, and we're using roundabouts to upgrade ourselves. So that's going to be our grid for our industry, and then we're going to follow on this way out as much as we can. And again, we want to, I was going to use the grid tool. Oh bollocks, I've done that wrong. Yeah, I was going to use the grid tool. In fact, I started using the grid tool. I made a quick little mock-up and I was like, oh Sarah, actually that's not the right plan, because what we want is to make our houses intentionally smaller than we would normally. So let's go all the way along, all the way. And we've reached Tiny Village without building anything at all. Let's just get rid of that, actually, and we'll do the underground connection. There we go. And then we can come 90 degrees. So this marks out our gridding. Now we just need to think about how much room. I think we can do a 2 by 2, can't we? 1, 2, 3. Is that going to work? It does, but it doesn't. See, that's gone awry in certain places, and I imagine that's the land. So if we just look at the terrain, what we want to do is flatten out any obscurities. Oh, she says, sorry. I'm like, yeah, let's use this one tile and go into the water. That wasn't intentional necessarily. I just wanted to map a few things out. I mean, there's no harm in doing a little bit of widening, is there? So that means everything should now meet that bit. Are you still able to pick up water? Have I done you dirty? Maybe. We'll find out. Anyway, now we've flattened the land. That should fix our issue. So we want 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should work. That's gone a bit funny, isn't it? Despite the fact it's supposed to be a 2 by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it says that's 90 and that's 90, so that's really interesting. See, and then it's still doing like a weird gap. Then we've got some demand for industry, and again we'll use our dirt roads or our alley roads, and we'll just see what we can zone in. And we're giving them a bit more room for now. There we go. So what we want to do is, I was going to say make that into a roundabout. Just those big major spots. Nice. There we go. A positively filled up space ready for more things, like more houses to come in. And I wonder if you can give them too much space, too many options. That might be a thing. So we're giving them 5 along at the moment, which should suit nicely for the industry. There we go. Look at that, filling in nicely. What have we got? We've got some ore. We've got some factories. Looking very good, looking great, everybody. Got some houses that are already derelict for some reason. And let's have a little look. Oh, look at these. So these are the American houses. These are the back gardens of them, are they? Interesting. Look at those. They're quite cute, aren't they? Very nice. And who have we got? We've got 4 households living here and 4 residents, compared to 1 person, 1 resident, 3 residents, 4 of 4. Love it. Like to see it. We've got a couple of shops. Oh, I'm liking the way it's all growing in. 2 by 2s. Yeah, that's looking good, isn't it? Same with the shops. Now this is interesting, the way it's kind of zoned there, but I can't be asked to deal with it because it will change. The zoning will always change. And so far, everybody's meeting demand. Now we've got a need to put in a hospital, so I think we are going to have to squish one in somewhere. And it's, where do we squish one in? I think we could get away with removing, say, this bit and putting in our lovely hospital right on the edge here, facing everybody. And then it's got room for its extension wing round the back, which is great. And its garages go over top. And we'll leave the landfill site. I think we'll just process our rubbish outside, for the moment at least. And we've reached small village, which means that we get some more different types of medium density and we get education. Oh, let's get rid of you. Now, when it comes to education, we do need to put that in because we want to increase demand for, I suppose, bigger housing. You know, the more, what's it called, the EU medium and high density, or the, not EU because it might not be EU at all. Let's see how these grow in. And then we'll put some normal houses around there. I think that will look okay. We can always put in more like school, those sorts of things. More demand for industry. Industry's going strong at the moment, which is great. You'd love to see it. So let's zone that in. And then we've also got more need for shops. Whether or not we switch that up for shops around the medical centre. And we'll do some shops around on these ones that are a bit janky space-wise. And then we've also got to find a place for our school. Now, he can actually fit next to the medical centre, which what we'll do at the moment, because the extension goes over the above. Playground just improves well-being, which we are okay on a well-being front, and the clinic is just for health. So that's that. And then we've got our high school that we can put in somewhere. And again, I'm thinking of using up these slightly glitchy zoning areas. Now, you're quite big, so we need to actually delete 2 lots of you to put you down. Even more than 2. Wow, okay, fair enough. Let's pop him in. And he fits pretty much perfectly in the middle, with some room for zoning on either side. So let's just zone in some shops on either side, shall we? For now, because they just go over the top. So is that the back or the front? That's the back of the school. Okay. Interesting, interesting. It's quite a big one, that, isn't it, that building? That's huge. Interesting that it doesn't change between the EU and the American, because I think the schools, well, even in EU, you know, every city, each country is unique on their own. So yeah, we'll zone into the weird ones where there's some patchiness in the zoning, maybe around the school there. And we've so far covered, I don't know, not that big a space actually. So we've got more development points. And we're not far on our way to a large village. So we've got more points. And I think we want to look at improving education, a crematorium, so that we haven't got to utilise that space. I think it's going to be useful. And maybe just advanced road services for now. So let's put in our crematorium. Now we've got space for it, and it's quite a big one where you can fit. Just trying to think if we've got an end space somewhere. I mean, maybe on actually just off of the main road rather than trying to take up some space, because he's not really, or just somewhere awkward like by here. No, we will use the main road and we'll pop him literally just off of a roundabout. And we've reached a large village, which means we get farming, stone mining, fire rescue, police, all of the good stuff. So we've got our crematorium. He can now go out and make sure everybody's okay. We've got some lovely, look at that, I like that, some medium density American, which I haven't really played with the American lots at all. Very, very different. So this has got 27 households. Look at that, 12 households, 24 households. So we've got some big places plopping up. More demand for shops. So if we put some shops in, a little bit of a high street bubble. More demand for for medium density, we'll use that. And then we'll use those for low density. And I think we're going to have to put in our firehouse because we can see a fire cropped up already. And we've got the Rockstar Mansion. We're going to plop our firehouse right there. And we'll plop a police station near the crematorium. So we've got a whole area, and the upgrades for both of these are just sat on top. The only thing is the crematorium's got some to the sides. And we've got some traffic, or it's an accident. A muscle car's gone off the road like an idiot. And hopefully that fire brigade is now going to go out and deal with the fire over here. Wow, look at that. You're on fire and you've upgraded, oh dear. Look, the fire brigade's on their way. They're racing down the sides. Go on. Hey, they're still on fire here. Oh, we've got some dead people. There we go. Just going to fill that in nicely. Interesting what's gone on with the zoning here. Because it's not attaching to anything, isn't it? Has that done anything? No, it's just awkward. Okay, never mind. We'll use this for shops down the side because it's right on the highway. And the same over there. And that should help massively clear that demand for shops. And we've got more demand for low density, so let's just plop some in the middle. We've almost utilised this whole space now, which is amazing. And look at, we've got lack of labour, so not enough employees. We want to make people happy, so we will put in maybe over here where there's a waste of, she says, and it won't fit in because we've used the tiny squares. Because houses will exist around here anyway. Pop him in there because we can start gridding out around it. Look at that. And lack of labour is the major issue at the moment. We haven't got any more upgrades yet, but we have reached large village. I don't really want to use up space for farming, stone mining necessarily. I think we're just going to have to outsource at the moment. Now with our points, we've got 3 development points. We are okay on everything. We could put in a recycling centre, which is smaller and covers the issue of garbage then. So if we plonk him down somewhere, like say there, and we've reached a grand village. That was quick. We now have the ability to do district creations. We've got the production panel. We've got policies. We've got more farming and more transport. So that's great. Let's just zone in some industry here and to the back there. And we can zone in industry all the way along there, can't we? Really pack it in on the highway, on the edge of the highway. And now we've got demand for low rent housing. So let's pop in, and I think 1 will do. Oh, that was low density, wasn't it? My bad, sorry guys. Don't die. And there we are. So we are still losing money, but we can now tax them. I think we go up to 14%. And let's see how that grows, if at all. Still got loads of demand for shops, haven't we? Jesus. We'll just see how that fares. So much demand for shops, that's really interesting. Right. The Streamline Diner. Let's look at these special buildings. So we've got the Polaroids. Oh my god, it's huge. Where will you fit? Right there. Look at that. Hello. Hello. That's quite cool. I don't think I've seen that before. So you've got like a little cafe or no, like a deck, observation deck. What do you do then? You Our residents enjoying the atmosphere of luxurious building, 180 residents potential maximum, and so far we've got 14 people living there. Now, I'm seeing some issues that we could have some parking issues, but for now we will kind of leave well enough alone. We've got somebody who doesn't have enough customers. Well, that sounds like a you problem, to be honest, because we got loads of people. We've got 2,400 people living here so far. 2,400. In fact, I think I might have just beaten my population for the 1 hour challenge, and we aren't even at an hour yet. Turns out if I completely ignore what I'm doing, I seem to grow my city even more. And then we've also got a streamlined diner, which is a classic American style diner. Ooh, that sounds nice. Where do we want to squish you? Somewhere small, where we've only got a 3x3. There? Or have I just wasted space? No, you fit in. Let's look at this building then. What are we dealing with? Oh, cute. Advertise here. It hasn't been occupied yet, but that increases the attractiveness citywide. Very nice, very nice. And look at our city grow. 2,600 people living here currently, and we are actually making money, which is unbelievable. Everybody is happy, which is great. In fact, the only thing they're complaining about is taxes and a lack of entertainment, which we can fix the entertainment. Now, what is better than having a small dog park? I think there is nothing better in this world than having a small dog park and a small playground. And we'll just put a couple of these really teeny tiny ones around. So I don't think it massively matters. Does the size of the park make a difference? Kind of, but not much. There we go. So that's all green. There's a couple of red places. But I think that should... Yeah, so that's dropped that down. Abundance of leisure, lack of entertainment, noise pollution, healthcare coverage, taxes. Healthcare coverage. Everyone's got access to healthcare, so... Oh, more fires. Just turn you off. Leave me alone, I don't want to listen. I don't want to know your problems, sorry. Right. I think we're going to utilise this space for more shopperoonies. This is green for shops, isn't it? Okie dokie. Means it's desirable. And then we've got some more space for medium density houses. Let's put some low ones in there and there. And that whole grid is set up. We've almost utilised everything we can utilise. Now, we've also got space for our transport. And I think transport is going to be something we have to put in, but keep at a minimal. So whether or not we just, for now, plop in a little taxi depot. Oh, tiny town, which means we now have the ability for the mixed housing. We've got communications, radio mast, roadside parking fees, all of that stuff. So we were looking at transport and whether or not I can squish in somewhere a taxi depot there. Now the taxi depot, we are going to do the dispatch centre, and then we can upgrade to the garage. Put the music back on. And whether or not that will suffice rather than doing buses, I mean, it's just whether people will get across to, you know, the other part of town. Okay, because it's only one square. And buses are absolutely fine and dandy, other than it's quite a big depot. Suppose we could pop it in, at least, for now. And then we can do a bus station somewhere. You know, maybe off of the main road. So we put a bus station here. And we've got that road there. We'll do... There we go. That's something at least. So now we have a bus station and we can do a taxi stop there. And then we will do, no, we don't need to do any more upgrades there. We just need to do some bus lines. So let's put down some stops. We'll do a stop there. We will do a stop so we'll see how that changes things. And at the moment, we have had a bit of a wave of collapsed buildings. I think we had some wind coming in that destroyed the buildings, but there we go. Now we can look at the zones now, can't we? And we can do some stuff. So we can have energy consumption awareness. We've got charging people to park on the roads, and we've got speed bumps, which just lowers them down. And at the moment our people are wealthy. Elm Springs, we have nobody living there yet because we haven't zoned it. And then we've got Cypress Peak, which has 700 people. This has 2,900 out of 3,300 that could live there. 3,900 total residents so far. And now we have demand for the first time ever for offices, which is fantastic. So we're going to zone in some offices on this side, and we're going to remove some of the shops over there and put some offices in, which I know seems a bit reckless, but you want people to be able to feel like they can walk to work. So by doing that, that should help with demand. And then we're going to zone in maybe a little bit of 2x2. We'll do one lower level. We'll do some, actually let's get rid of those. Those always look better either as shops or as other services. And we'll zone you guys in and just allow things to grow. We've got demand for more industry, but that should just fill in because it's got space for it. And yeah, so far, apart from the odd abandoned building where people were unhappy, which doesn't really sound like something that I can do anything about. So we've now got an issue. The complaint is healthcare coverage, crime, and unreliable internet service. So if we go to the telecom, we can put down a radio mast, and this transmits radio power. We can also look at our development points for this. So we could put in a server farm or a telecom tower. Telecom tower is a wide range of telecommunications. How big is that? Let's have a little look at how big that is. So that's a whole £1,000,000, but it does cover the entire square and then some. Whereas the radio mast doesn't really have a lot of coverage. So we could just plonk him down anywhere we please, as long as he fits. How big are you? And now we should find everywhere is green, which is fantastic. These ones that get abandoned, whether or not we need to put in like a welfare office. We've got 6 points. If we go to police, we can purchase a welfare office, and we could put one in if we've got the money for it. Now it is a big building, but it does do a lot, and it would actually serve the entire population. So I'm going to pop one in next to our our bus station, to make sure that our citizens get support when it comes to getting jobs and a career, which is only going to help. And we've got traffic issues, which we knew was going to be a problem, and we just want to encourage people to really, not have to drive. We want people to use our public transport. So if we have a little look, we now have 400 people using taxis and 200 people using our buses. So it's getting there, it's getting better. We'll ask people to recycle. Why not? Why not ask people to recycle and hope for the best? We could do this whole area actually as low density there. In Elm Springs, as our city continues to grow. Look at that. Now we've got 5 points, and I think it's about time we get ourselves a college, because that's going to improve education. And if we look at our education, we have not many people in school. We've got 144 eligible and 144 in school. We've got 400, oh no, the amount of people in school are in school. So let's put down a college for the first time ever. And again, it is a massive building, so we're just going to have to sacrifice some space. And if we pop in next to the roundabout, it upgrades us to Boomtown, which means we get heavy traffic ban and advanced pollution management. Now, the college is quite expensive. We can't do much about it. We are currently making 164,000 a month, and we've got upgrades in a library, but I think that's going to suffice for now. Still got a couple of abandoned buildings. It's like people just give up wanting to live here. And if we have a look, our major issue now is just high taxes and unreliable healthcare coverage. So still, and I think that's the perk of having one tile, is things kind of grow in pretty quickly, to be fair. Look at all these little houses. Look at them, they're so tiny. They're so tiny. Which is what I'd rather than those long ones, but it is what it is. Sometimes we've just got to take it as it comes. I can't help that too much. We've got traffic issues, which we thought was going to be the case. Again, we could look at putting down heavy traffic ban. Recycling again, I think we'll do that. Why not? Make everybody conscious of what they're doing. And really, we just want to see an increase in medium and high density as much as possible. We are a fair few points away from Busy Town. We're about just over halfway, and then we'll get our high density. We've got quite a few development points, and I'm trying to think what's going to encourage people to jump up to medium and high density housing. Other than education, I think it's things like, for example, the city hall. So whether or not we risk it for the biscuit and purchase the city hall. Now the city hall costs 1,600. We've got 1,800 left. So we've got money. And we are making money. But it's just, yeah. Do we risk it for the biscuit? I think I think it's worth it. I mean, what's the 300 and something thousand? We could actually increase the demand for, if we try and encourage office workers to move in. And then if we go for City Hall, you're even taller. Bloody hell. We could put him in a weird place, like right there. He fits. That road kind of slides in just off the side, you know, that's not implausible. He kind of just about fits in there. So our city hall goes off of an industry area, but it looks out onto a nice bit of water, doesn't it? It's not really got much use being there, but the reason I popped in the city hall is it is a centre for different branches of local government. It reduces the price of imported goods and lowers loan interest rates. It can be upgraded with various features as well, which just go over the top, so we don't need to worry about space. So that should help us with future finances as we grow up our city. And I think it already has. Yeah, so we're still, despite what we spent, making money. So let's just allow things to grow. I think whilst things are upgrading, we're going to do the rest of our gridding on this side. And that's Springtown. So we've got Elm Springs, Springtown, Sunset Crest and Cypress Peak. And those are our 4 districts of the entire city. Obviously we've got a portion of it used up by water as well, which is just, you know, something that happens, I guess. Just how we can improve demand. I think what we want to do is if we go to taxation, and then if we encourage well and highly educated people to move in, because we're making 200-ish, 300-ish a month. Hopefully that's going to help these people. Let's look at our population. So if we go down to population, we can see that most of our citizens are middle-aged, I guess. Most of them are adults. Then we've got a portion of children and teens. We haven't really got any big density areas at the moment, and our unemployment is great. The happiness of our citizens, the major issue is crime. So if we look at policing, we've got an 18% crime rate. So for now, what we'll do is we'll just upgrade our police station and see if that works. If not, we'll have to buy a police headquarters. But we've only got 6,000 residents at the moment, so I just think we need to err on the side of caution. Caution, not caution. We don't need to err on the side of caution. They're not the town. I think we want to save up towards getting a central bank, because that's going to, again, encourage hopefully more density. That's my thought process anyway, unless we need to purchase the police headquarters just to help with crime fighting. We could also look at things like trams and subways for traffic control. Let's buy the park maintenance though, because that's going to help maintain our parks and probably improve the quality of them. Now, you're not very big, are you? Bigger than I'd like you to be. Okay. So where can we squish you? Is that going to work? Kind of. Can I move you to the other side? Do you fit? Yeah, there we go. And what does that do? So the park maintenance office maintains the parks for the leisure benefits to the people. Okay. So if we look at parks and our coverage of things, okay, we've got some electricity issues. You have gone overloaded. Which means we probably need to pop one of these. Is that going to work? Yeah, a transformer. That's just going to help. Let's look at our energy consumption whilst we're there. Water's fine. Electricity availability is actually on the small side. We're on the cusp. Can we upgrade him? No, we can't. So we might actually need to use points purely to upgrade our electricity. So first of all, let's just zone in all of that, and then we'll look at our electricity. So we have a gas power plant, and we have an emergency battery station. I'm trying to think what's smaller. Geothermal plant, gas power plant. It's just cost effective. Whether or not we replace him, how big is it? Well, we can't afford it anyway. Oh my god, you're massive. Oh! Okay. That's the problem, is you can't see how big they are. Coal power plant. And its smaller counterpart, unless we just get 2 of those. Battery station, and then we can do like a hydro plant, which, what does the hydro plant look like? I know I'm wasting points here, but I'm just curious. It's a hydro plant, so we could make it ourselves. We haven't got the strongest of currents though, have we? But we've got water. Is that not possible? Is it not supposed to be in water? Elevation too low. And then that says not enough money, not on a shoreline. Ah, so it's supposed to go like over there. Never mind, I've just wasted points. Typical me, wasting points. That is very much what I would do. We've got demand for shopperoonies. So let's, for now, just fill in some gaps wherever we can get them. And the same with our houses. So, rather annoyingly, I've lost some of my footage, which is a bit frustrating, but we are now at Great Town, and we are almost near Small City. We've got about 10,000 points left to get, and we've started to put in some high-rise buildings and some high-rise businesses, but it is a slow grind. Basically, everybody, the only thing we really have demand for is low density, but for whatever reason, people just don't want to move into bigger buildings, which is a bit frustrating. And I'm kind of basically choosing to not give them any other option. They have to move into a big building if they want to move here. That's kind of my vibe. I don't know the best way to play around with it to force their hand. I've looked at our taxing, and at the moment, basically, we're taxing them very little. Same for like offices and those sorts of things. We're trying to encourage that service, that area, but it's still an issue. We haven't put any produce in because of the space and how much space that requires, and I'm just trying to figure out how best to encourage people to move in quicker. The only other thing I can think of is reducing the tax on the houses, which I have ebbed and thrown and done that. What does the little love heart mean? Does that mean somebody's having a baby, making love or something? It's like Sims mode. Don't know. Who knows? Just somebody's loving that place, clearly. Have we got anything on tourism? Workplace availability everywhere is grand. Land value, everything's pretty good actually. The land's pretty desirable. All our buildings, most of which are level 3, level 4 for industry. That's great. I'm sure there was something for tourism. Citizen wealth, everybody's wealthy. There's still people loving that one building. I don't know how to encourage the high-rise. If anybody else knows, we haven't got any outside connections because we can't unlock the tiles. There we go. Tourism. We have nobody coming because there's no way into the city apart from that one route. I don't know. My question to you guys is, do we, even though we're only building one tile, do we purchase the other tiles and connect this train line up to our subway potentially so people can get in via the subway? You guys let me know in the comments, do you think we can? We're going to finish this episode once we reach Small City, and then we'll come back in the future to try and get it to Megalopolis, if possible, with just the beginner tile. So we're almost there. Let's see how close we can get. Well, my game just crashed and I am slightly losing the will to live. It's taking so long to see the city build and progress, and it is doing so slowly, and I think it's worth coming back to, but I think I just need to take a break for today. So we are at Great Town. My goal was to get to Small City by the end of this video, but I think we're just going to wait till the next episode. We want to see, or my goal is to see that by the end, we'll do a part 2 and see if we can get to Megalopolis in part 2. I think once we start getting the high density offices, we should be able to. We have grown a lot, you know, we're almost at 17,000 population. Everybody is, you know, upgrading, everybody is happy. It's just we seem to have an obsessive amount of people just wanting low rise houses rather than any other demand, which is infuriating. If anybody knows of any hints and tips to encourage high density, I thought it was about educating the population, putting in like these city services, which I've done all of that. My only other question to you, which I'd like you to let me know in the comments, is whether we add other external connections. So far we have one way in, one way out, which is causing huge traffic issues all the way backed up into the city. I want to know whether you will give me permission to unlock a couple of the tiles to connect this train line to our subway line, because our subway has 5,300 people accessing it, so it's well worth putting in. Our buses have 5,000 and our taxis have 300, so we've got 10,000 people actively using public transport. But should we just, we're not going to build on these tiles, we're just going to connect this train line to our existing subway line to see if that's going to help grow our city a bit quicker. So let me know in the comments below what you'd like me to do. I am going away for a bit, so my videos will maybe be a bit sparse and I may be a bit late to reply to comments, but yeah, just let me know and we'll come back and we'll try to reach Megalopolis with just the beginner tile. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you soon. Bye!